Good afternoon, everybody. It is 11:05 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, Eastern Standard Time, in other words. And we are going to take a look at the NAO in this update. And again, just a brief synopsis, a summary of what the NAO is. It's a factor that predicts weather. And when the NAO is negative, in other words, if you take a look at this little chart here, there's a number line on it. It goes from 0 to 4 upwards and 0 to -4 downwards. When that is negative, and if you look on the right-hand side, those little red lines, that's the future prediction in the next 2 weeks for the NAO. When the NAO goes negative, basically that brings a lot of cold and stormy and active weather to the eastern half of the USA. Now, when it's positive, that brings a high pressure over the eastern half of the USA typically, and it brings a lot of heights that go downward. So, in other words, it does not allow thunderstorm cloud tops to rise up, but it creates a high pressure, which is descending heights, which is why you see dry weather. Because in order for weather to be really active, you need that rising, the instability of the air to create a massive thunderstorms and whatnot, and winter storms and all of that galore. All right, so here's the NAO, and it's going negative, and that is the key in what I'm about to show you, because we're going to take a look at our prediction for that hurricane that I was looking at last update. Now, keep in mind, models like to do a lot of things. They like to wish-wash here and wish-wash there, go from left to right, never in a straight line typically. But on this model run, it is continuing on the latest run to take this hurricane right around Puerto Rico and then right along the East Coast, even strengthening. But the problem with this run, guys, is we have a big cold front. Now, with the negative NAO, you typically get low level heights, as I said, stormy weather on the eastern half of the USA. The problem here is we do have that low level heights, which would attract the hurricane hit, but we also have a really sharp cold front here. The trough is like really collapsing in on itself. It's almost like another tropical low merging with this hurricane, which is pushing it offshore. So on this run, it is pushing the hurricane because of shear offshore. But again, we have a lot more time until this happens. And I'm standing on my prediction that because we have a negative NAO, just using the why behind the what, the overall science of the weather, I believe we will come close to a tropical cyclone, if not a hurricane hit, on the East Coast by around November 5th. And again, you have to look at the generality of the weather. That's the whole art and science of long-range predicting and forecasting, guys, is you look at the science of it, the pattern of it, the long-range, the overall picture. That's where the gemstone is found. That's where the puzzle pieces mesh together and you forecast the weather. And it really becomes an art and a science, not just your local TV meteorologist just predicting and reading the weather report. There's a science to it, and I'm here to show you that. All right, so we're going to take a look at our next 10 days of snowfall now. And so we have a lot of snow in the west right now. In fact, there's been reports of just tremendous amounts of snow in Montana and North Dakota. I've seen some pictures there on Facebook and whatnot, and the groups that I follow. Just a tremendous, a heck of a lot of snow there. And so here in North Dakota, it's going to start to pile up. But really in the western part of Canada, the really extreme west coast of Canada, where the La Nina is really going to formate this winter and produce a lot of snow, that's where we're seeing a lot of snow. So again, this is going to be a common theme, as I said in my previous update, where the Northwest is just going to get smacked this winter with snow. That's, I think, a certainty. I don't think there's any doubt that the Northwest is going to see a very extreme winter this year, a very active per se. So I do think also two other regions I'm looking at this winter are the Midwest and the Great Lakes. I think this is going to be an active season for clipper snows. In fact, the polar vortex I think is going to drop south November 15th. Just reading a local report on that. I haven't really done much looking into that, but the report said that the polar vortex will drop south on the 15th. And there is a decent polar vortex developing around the North Polar region. And the thing is, when the polar vortex is weaker, that allows a lot of shiftiness in the polar vortex, and it can bobble around. So that can allow a lot of Arctic air to spill south down into the USA. So we have a lot of things going on right now, but I really wanted to focus on that hurricane potential impact by day 15. So again, a lot of things going on in the weather. Right now it's somewhat quiet and we do have a lot of warmth, but things are always bound to change with the weather. So guys, in the meantime, take care, enjoy your day, and stay blessed.